Good morning, Dark Madam here. I am back from my break so that I can show you this. So believe it or not, in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, this was a super fancy resort and spa. San Antonio had a number of different hot springs. You could take the curative mineral and sulfur waters, but Hot Wells, which is where we are, was the fanciest of all time. And it's in ruins now, and I'll explain why in a minute. This is where the upper crust came to enjoy the restorative waters that were apparently here in these giant pools. As you can see over there, it still says ladies pool, and on this side, if you can see, it says gents pool. Very old-fashioned. High diving was strictly prohibited in the pool. This all started in 1892 when the San Antonio Lunatic Asylum was drilling a well, and instead of sweet regular water like we have around here, they actually found sulfurous mineral water, and they didn't want it. So several gentlemen decided to invest and create this hot spring. Unfortunately, even through the luxuriousness and all the famous people who came here, this resort has been plagued by fire numerous times. The first one starting in 1894, burning down much of the hotel. But it was rebuilt, and by 1902, it was considered America's most famous resort. It's hard to imagine looking at the ruins now, but there was once a 3-story, 80-room luxury hotel on this site. The rooms boasted first-class furnishings, hot and cold water, telephones to the main office, electric light, all sorts of things that were almost unheard of at the time. And it attracted many, many famous people who came and stayed here. So this is where we were just looking at. It had the pillars with the roof, and those were the 3 bathing pools. There were 3 swimming pools, 45 private bathing areas, and 200 individual dressing rooms. Taking the waters combined health and indulgence in the 3-story pleasure palace, which became the place to be seen among San Antonio's social elite. So, good old Teddy Roosevelt was here. The famous actress Sarah Bernhardt was here. I even read somewhere that Charlie Chaplin came here. So all sorts of people came to enjoy the luxuriousness. So right here is the original location of the historic hot sulfur water well, dug in 1892. I guess down there. That's kind of cool. Obviously they started using pipes and everything to pipe the water over to the bathhouse, which is back behind us over here. So the trail passes through some grasslands with little scrubby trees, and again down here is the river. There was, at the height of its operation at Hot Wells, there was an ostrich farm, and that's because ostrich feathers were so popular for all the fancy ladies' hats who were coming here that they needed their own farm to generate the ostrich feathers. I wonder if you comb through these bushes if you'd find any old ostrich feathers laying around. Although I'm not sure because I haven't found the exact location that the ostrich farm was located. Due to World War I and then Prohibition, as you can imagine, the popularity of the hotel waned, and it was actually bought by Christian Scientists who turned it into a school. However, it suffered another fire in 1925. The city saved it, but it was in pretty bad shape. After that, it passed through different hands. There was a bar and grill here at one point, even a trailer park on the property, but it continued to fall into disrepair, and there were more fires in the 80s and the 90s. But now, thanks to an industrious real estate developer, it's been deeded back to the county, and there are some big plans underway to improve it. I think they're going to put a bathhouse back and maybe even show old movies on the walls of the ruins, old silent movies, which would be really, really cool. So the sulfur pipe has been plugged up, and there isn't the smell of rotten eggs that I can smell now that I'm here. So none of that has lingered. But what people say has lingered, of course, is the spirits of those guests who spent time here. Paranormal investigators have reported disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, and they say at night there's one particular lady who always stares out of the same window. This is Dark Madam of Dark Madam Explorations. Nothing here but me and the ruins. I'm the Dark Madam. Thanks for watching. And remember, don't be afraid of the dark.